great interest in tacticians on the NATO side.
Absolutely right. My first tour in the 1980s was on the Phantom, an air defence aircraft. We studied these aircraft in great depth. Unfortunately at the time, information was sketchy and the photos were grainy, black and white, but fantastic to see them here today. Even better to have them as allies. And I particularly enjoyed the guided tour of the cockpit yesterday. Real hardware, real Soviet bloc technology, but built for purpose and still flying some 30 years old.
Indeed so. These aircraft were used across the Warsaw Pact and countries in the Soviet sphere of influence at the time. European users amongst the Warsaw Pact countries, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, East Germany and Hungary, as well as Poland. Continuing this racetrack pattern now as they run in for another pass. In the Cold War, the fitter would have penetrated hostile iron Western airspace using high-speed, low-level tactics to try and evade enemy fighters. Low-level missions, not least due to the threat of anti-aircraft fire. Contrary to what was common in NATO at the time, the intended Soviet tactic in the Cold War seems to have been to use very large fighter-bomber packages with fighter aircraft escorts rather than the smaller flights that were common within NATO during that period. Soviet Su-17 fitters served in the invasion of Afghanistan, and later Russian examples were used in the war in Chechnya. The export variants, the Su-20 and 22, were employed in combat by Angola, Iraq, Libya, both throughout the 1980s and in the recent conflict in 2011, Peru, Syria, once again recently also, and in Yemen. Poland originally received 110 examples of the fitter, both the single-seat M4K version we see here and the two-seat UN-3K conversion trainer. Today, they have 32 of them in service, 6 of the two-seaters and 26 single-seaters. All of them now concentrated in Stupid, where these aircraft come from, the 21st Air Base in northwest Poland. Now we see the two aircraft splitting for the next part of their display. And here we see something of the low-level capability of the fitter in a show of force, 480 knots, 500 feet. Service with the European Air Arm and indeed within NATO. One of just 2 of the Soviet-era fixed-wing types built by Soviet manufacturers that are still in frontline Polish service, the MiG-29 that we've seen here in the last couple of seasons of the Air Tattoo being the other. The aircraft now performing what the pilots call combat turns, and they'll be coming in for a simulated dive attack. but a fitter pilot I spoke to in Poland a few years ago said the Sukhoi is very powerful and the payload is completely comparable with modern aircraft. 4 tons, pretty much enough to make a mess of anything. Fitter is the SU22s gun pod, contains a pair of so-called depressed barrel 23mm cannon. This can fire both forwards and backwards. The pilots aim normally, then the autopilot takes over the steering of the aircraft, enabling the pilot to take a shot to the rear. A Polish fitter unit was the Air Force's first to be committed to the NATO response force a few years ago. Close air support and air interdiction are the main tasks. Also, they perform anti-surface maritime missions. Tactical recce is also an important undertaking for the fitter, though Poland's new Lockheed Martin F-16C fighting Falcons are now taking over that role with far more modern equipment at their disposal. So now after burning turns, a few rolls that we saw there, we now see the fitter's positioning, and we see them at slightly closer quarters for a number of missed approaches. Of the Polish Air Force fitters. This will take in a life extension program of 18 aircraft, 12 single-seaters and 6 two-seaters. They're selecting those in the best technical condition to do the work on, and these aircraft will fly on in Polish service until around 2024 to 2026. Their role during that time will be used to assist in training Polish forward air controllers and air defense units. After a very, very dramatic demonstration of these veteran aeroplanes, the production of the fitter didn't in fact cease until 1990. Nonetheless, by that time, the aircraft beginning to become somewhat outmoded, particularly as the Cold War came to an end. Nonetheless, an outstanding platform and a superb servant of the Polish Air Force for many, many years. Hopefully not the last time we see these aircraft here. Leader coming in to land, Major Bartolomé Mika. And there is the aircraft third final with another indication of those smoky engines. You may have noticed during the display of the readings that we can focus here. That's because of the more decarbonisation of fuel. And the tactic used by aircraft at about 10 miles, they fly these readings, 10 miles going against another adversary to reduce the ability. Completing their sequence, thus the two Sukhoi Su-22M4K fitters of the Polish Air Force from the 40th Tactical Squadron at Fleetwood. Certainly amongst the most charismatic aircraft we will see in today's flying display. Not the last contribution, however, from the Polish Air Force. We have one of their aerobatic teams mounted on the Polish-built Fidel Turbo Orlik coming up later on. But it's to national display team action that we turn now as the fitters clear the runway. And the first of the national aerobatic teams on today's programme comes to us from the Italian Air Force. Great friends of the aircraft, particularly good to see them in this 50th display season for their friends and colleagues at the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows, who will be performing later. But now, it's my absolute pleasure to hand you over to the people who are going to describe this display. We're going to hear from Major Andrea Sora.